Learn English through stories. Intermediate English. The story of Nike. How a dream in a car trunk changed the world. It began with one young man, a borrowed idea, and a few pairs of shoes packed in the trunk of his car. He didn't know it then, but that small dream would one day inspire athletes, artists, and dreamers all around the world. Listen, read, and think about your own dreams as you practice English. Don't just study English, live it through stories. Humble roots. In 1962, Phil Knight traveled to Japan after business school. There, he saw running shoes made by a company called Onitsuka Tiger, high quality and inexpensive compared to American shoes. He sensed a real chance. If he could bring these shoes to runners in the United States, he might start a new kind of business. A risky idea. Phil Knight believed Japanese shoes could challenge the big German brands, just like Japanese cameras had challenged German cameras. He ordered sample pairs and sent them home. His former track coach, Bill Bowerman, always obsessed with better shoes, liked what he saw. Together, they began to imagine a bold new business, but no one knew if it would work. Could two dreamers really take on the world's biggest names? Birth of Blue Ribbon. On January 25, 1964, Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman formed a small company called Blue Ribbon Sports. Knight sold imported shoes from the trunk of his car after races. It was hard, uncertain work, but he believed every mile and every handshake brought him closer to something big. First sales numbers. In its first year, Blue Ribbon Sports sold about 1,300 pairs of running shoes and earned around $8,000. The next year, sales rose to about $20,000. The numbers were not huge, but they were moving in the right direction. The idea was working, and momentum was slowly building. Coach and craftsman. Bowerman wasn't satisfied selling other people's shoes. As a coach, he wanted to give every runner an edge. For years, he cut shoes apart, experimented with new materials, and tested them on his athletes. He wasn't chasing profit. He was chasing perfection. Inventing better shoes. Bowerman studied how runners moved, how feet struck the ground, and where shoes wore out first. He experimented with foam, rubber, and leather. His goal was simple but demanding. He wanted a running shoe that was both light and supportive, fast but safe, and designed from an athlete's point of view. First store, first fans. By 1966, Blue Ribbon Sports opened its first retail store in Santa Monica, California. It was small, but it became a gathering place for serious runners. In 1967, the company expanded distribution to the East Coast. Word of mouth spread among athletes. The company was still young, but demand was growing. Conflict with Onitsuka. Blue Ribbon Sports relied on Onitsuka Tiger for shoes, yet Knight and Bowerman were quietly designing their own. Misunderstandings and mistrust grew. Both sides wondered who controlled the future. The partnership that had built their dream was now tearing at the seams. The waffle iron idea. One morning in 1971, as Bowerman watched his wife's waffle iron heat up, he saw something others wouldn't. A pattern that could grip the track, but stay light. He poured rubber into the iron and changed running shoes forever. Innovation had just stepped out of the kitchen. From seller to maker. With a new sole design ready and the relationship with Onitsuka falling apart, Blue Ribbon Sports made a crucial decision. They would no longer only sell other brands. They would create and control their own shoes. To do that, they needed a fresh identity, a memorable name, and a powerful symbol. Choosing the name Nike. A young employee named Jeff Johnson suggested the name Nike, inspired by the Greek goddess of victory. The name was short, energetic, and meaningful. In 1971, Blue Ribbon Sports officially rebranded as Nike Incorporated. The new company wanted to stand for speed, achievement, and the feeling of crossing the finish line first. The swoosh logo. Nike needed a logo that captured motion and speed. A young student, Carolyn Davidson, drew a simple curve she called the swoosh. Nike paid her just $35. No one knew it then, but that small design would become a symbol recognized across the world, proof that greatness can start small. First, Nike shoes. With a new name and a new logo, Nike released its first original shoes. They were not just relabeled imports, but truly new products. Some of the early models used Bowerman's waffle-patterned sole. Runners liked the combination of lightweight and strong grip. Nike had finally stepped onto the track as a creator. Beyond the running track. At first, Nike focused on serious runners. Soon, however, more people became interested. Jogging and fitness grew popular in the 1970s. People who were not professional athletes wanted comfortable, sporty shoes for daily life. Nike's clean designs and performance image helped the company move from the track into the streets. Rapid growth years. During the 1970s, Nike expanded quickly. New shoes, better materials, and bold marketing pushed sales higher. For the first time, shoes weren't just equipment. They represented youth, energy, and belief. Nike wasn't just selling shoes anymore. It was selling the idea of success itself. Nike goes public. By 1980, Nike had grown large enough to offer its shares to the public on the stock market. This step brought in more money for expansion and signaled confidence in the company's future. The small operation that once sold shoes from a car had turned into a major player in the sports industry. Move into basketball. In the early 1980s, Nike moved deeper into basketball. The sport was fast, dramatic, and highly visible on television. Nike designed shoes and clothing for players on the court. Although the most famous deals came slightly later, this period laid the groundwork for basketball to become central to Nike's global influence. Air Jordan is born. In 1984, Nike signed a young basketball player named Michael Jordan, who would soon redefine both the game and the brand. Together, they launched the Air Jordan, a shoe that broke rules and captured imaginations. When the NBA banned the original black and red design, Jordan wore it anyway, and Nike turned the controversy into fame. Air Jordan became more than a shoe. It became a symbol of confidence, rebellion, and unstoppable drive. Building an iconic brand. As Nike entered new sports and markets, the swoosh became a symbol that people instantly recognized. The company used bold advertising, strong athlete partnerships, and clear visual design. Shoes were no longer just tools for running or jumping. They were also cultural objects that expressed style, identity, and ambition. Roots of the culture. Even as Nike became international, the core story remained the same. A driven businessman who loved risk and a demanding coach who loved innovation worked together. Their mix of vision and detail shaped the company's culture. Nike focused on performance, experimentation, and listening to what athletes truly needed to succeed. expanding the line. Over time, Nike expanded beyond running and basketball. The company developed products for tennis, soccer, training, and many other sports. It also created casual clothing and accessories. Nike began to serve both elite athletes and everyday people who simply wanted comfortable, sporty clothing and shoes for daily life and self-expression. Innovation as a habit. From Bowerman's waffle sole to air cushioning and foam technology, Nike never stopped chasing improvement. Innovation became more than a goal. It was a habit. Every new design carried the same belief. There's always a better way forward. Changing the industry. Nike helped change how the world saw athletic shoes. Before, many people thought of them as simple equipment. Nike combined performance, style, and emotional storytelling. Campaigns focused on effort, discipline, and personal victory. Other companies followed this approach, but Nike remained one of the leaders in connecting sport with culture. Just Do It is born. In 1988, Nike launched 3 simple words that echoed around the world. Just do it. It wasn't just a slogan, it was a challenge, a promise, and a mindset. It spoke to athletes, dreamers, and anyone facing self-doubt. Those 3 words captured Nike's spirit: courage, movement, and the power to begin. Name and symbol of victory. Nike, the Greek goddess of victory, stood for triumph. The swoosh symbolized motion and courage. Together, they became a promise that anyone, anywhere, could rise higher. The logo wasn't just about winning, it was about believing you could. From trunk to global stage. The journey from a car trunk to the global stage wasn't smooth. There were doubts, risks, and long nights. But Knight, Bowerman, and their team kept going. The same dream that began in the trunk of a car now runs through every athlete's stride around the world. What about you? Nike's story shows that big results can grow from small beginnings. One person with a risky idea and one coach with a restless mind helped reshape an entire industry. What dream are you building, even if it's small right now? Share your story to practice English and inspire others. Every big change starts with one small step. Just do it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more fun English lessons.